Hey guys, welcome back to Telltale. I am Emily and I have another book haul for you. Today I am going through a box that a friend gave me. I did not purchase this one, so there's no one to promote other than thank you, friend, you know who you are. Um, so I have not looked in this box. I just picked it up this morning. I have not looked in it. I haven't even peeked yet. And it's in this really nice, very solid carton that has absolutely no, I have no indication as to what is in here. Um, I don't even know how many are in there, but it feels pretty hefty. So I'm very excited to open this box. So thank you again. The friend knows who they are. I'm not going to name names here, but I'm super appreciating people who are just kind of stepping up and giving me their old unused books or unwanted books. So yeah, I have no idea what to expect opening this, and we'll see if it's cool or not. Oh wow. Okay. So there are 14, 15, 16 vintage books in here. Very vintage, it looks like. Let's see. Let's pull this one on the top. McGuffey's. It's a McGuffey's 6th Eclectic Reader Revised Edition. Look at that. Look at that beautiful book. That's so pretty. What a pretty book. Oh, look at that. Look at that ornamentation just on the contents. That's pretty. These are really, really lovely books. A lot of these books I'd have to look up to see if, they're worth anything. But honestly, like, look at that beautiful, beautiful introductory page. I know very little about McGuffey's stuff. There are some, like, I just saw an illustration in here. Where are you hiding, little illustration? I saw hints of you. There you are. Oh no, quit being stuck together. There. Beautiful. Beautiful illustrations. I always love those. They're really, really nice. There is a lot of content in here. Looks like a combination poetry, short stories, all kinds of stuff. Oh, another. Sorry, I'm being real quiet, just looking through this. Look at that, beautiful. Wow, this is a really cute book. Very nice. Looks like it's the 6th Reader. I'll have to look that up. It's got some nice embossing there too on the spine. It's in really nice condition. What a lovely book. Oh, that's such a great surprise. All right. Let's grab, what is this one? The Razor's Edge by, I can't even read the spine right now. The Razor's Edge, a novel by W. Somerset Maugham? So that's what that is. So this was printed in 1943 by the McCall Corporation in Garden City, New York. It doesn't appear to have any illustrations or anything. I mean, it's a pretty standard, nice hardcover novel, it looks like. And I mean, look at that. They really used up them pages. There's hardly any margin at all. So it probably was one of those, just like a quick to market kind of book. It's really nice though. Nice, compact, it's small, it's a pleasure to hold. What a lovely book. I like that embossing on there. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's really nice. What a lovely little book. All right, what else do we have here? A lot of these look very old. So this is a modern first-year algebra book. Oh yeah. That would certainly appeal to someone, not me. I am not a numbers person, but of course, well printed, your standard kind of. They always make these. I'm always amazed that these books are so much smaller than like any of the algebra books. Blah, 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 any of the algebra. Why can't I talk today? Clearly, I need more coffee. Algebra books, or any textbook for that matter, that I used in school were like huge. Like they're practically a window sized thing. They were very large. So I always am really intrigued when they have these vintage ones that are so small. Like, why do they make them so big now? Anybody has an answer for me if you're into like bookmaking or literature or anything like that? Like, let me know why these like textbook things are so much smaller than the ones we use today. Like, I feel like they're huge and like bulky and obnoxious to carry around in a bag. I would much prefer having a textbook or something this size versus the size of a family Bible or something. But this is a nice little collector's piece. Wow, so many vintage books. What year is this made? Let's find out. It's a Webster Wells SB, author of a series of texts on mathematics, and Walter W. Hart AB, Associate Professor of Mathematics School of Education in the University of Wisconsin. Oh, cool. And it was by the D.C. Heath and Company. Any year? Doesn't tell me. Oh, 1923. Wow. Printed in the USA. 1923 algebra book. And why is it so much smaller than the algebra books? I cannot talk algebra. Algebra is so hard I can't even say it, much less work out problems. Anyway. So yeah, that's a nice little piece of history there. Would love to know. Would love to know if anybody knows why our books are so dang big now. Like, who are we trying to impress? Why are the children... Ooh. Okay, this is a really pretty book. It's another arithmetic book, but it's really pretty. And, ooh, it has some old... Looks like some old pieces of paper in the front, probably just protecting the text a little bit. If it's in a shelf, people used to do that all the time. Yeah, this one is another D.C. Heath and Company. Like, if you can see that cover, it's got that cool print on it and a very nice ornamentation on the side. I don't know if you can see it very well, but that's cool. Let's see what year this one is. 1908. 1908 arithmetic book. Wow. Oh, that was really pretty. What was that? Okay, so here's an illustration of some kind that I was not super aware of. It looks like something about stocks and bonds. Yeah, it's talking about bonds and comparisons. Okay, interesting. Wow. I'll show you that other one. I just kind of like skipped over it to see if there was others, but another nice plate print there. Really interesting. Oh, and then has like how to do like writing checks and stuff and promissory notes. Promissory notes, however you say it. Grammar school arithmetic. A lot of this looks like very practical arithmetic stuff, like balancing budgets, how to do checks, bonds, stocks, interest rates. Oh, we're talking now it goes into foreign exchange, how to calculate foreign exchange arithmetic. Oh, interesting. See, like this stuff sounds so much more useful than the stuff I ever learned. Like my parents had to teach me how to write a check, but like this is part of a curriculum somewhere. This is calculating time zones across the United States. What an interesting book. See, like so much you learn for something. This is a piece of literature that is not literary, so to speak. This is an educational and informational nonfiction, I guess you would consider a math book. But like I just learned a lot about the kind of practical application stuff that they taught in 1908 as part of a general arithmetic class. It looks like this is pretty much just your normal run-of-the-mill textbook, essentially. And it's for hire in It is for use in the higher grammar grades. It contains a brief and somewhat more mature treatment of topics covered by, this is the third apparently in a book, in a series of 3. First 2 books, and throughout the course in the more advanced subjects taught in the upper classes. Okay, so this is probably either like a college or upperclassmen arithmetic, advanced arithmetic class from high school or something, because a lot of people back in the day didn't even complete school for the most part. Especially if you lived in a rural area, you just kind of went until you learned enough and then you went and worked on the farm. So this could be for high school age or college. Could go either way, but yeah, that is so interesting. What a time to be alive. Third Degree. Charles Klein and Arthur Hornblow. Look at that nice. That's a nice cover. Very simple side spine there. Let's see, what year are we talking here? Narrative of Metropolitan Life. Illustrations by Clarence Rowe. So it's illustrated. Grosset and Dunlop in New York, 1909. By the G.W. Dillingham Company. It says there are illustrations. Well, let me go back to the front because there is an illustration in the front. Just at the beginning there there you go. Very nice illustration, beautifully printed. No information about it being any kind of first edition or anything. Let's see if I can find any more illustrations. I'm not finding any more. Not right now. If I... Oh, I found one. Look at that. Very nice. Looks like a crime and mystery sort of book, just from the illustrations alone. There are more illustrations. They are hiding on me. Doesn't seem like there are very many. Oh, we've got some illustrations that are doodles from a previous owner. I love when that happens. Oh, it looks like... either doodles or some kind of math thing. This person must have been really into math. Whoever owned this set of books prior and gave it to my friend. Yeah, more illustrations. Very nice. This book is really well put together. I mean, the paper's not super, like, big deal anything. It's your typical run-of-the-mill cheap run paper, but, like... And it has, of course... On the back of all these older ones, you tend to find, like, all these other ads for other authors or other, you know, similar works by the publisher and things like that. Where it gives you kind of a overview of how things go. And then gives you a quick review of those other pieces that they're trying to promote. This is a nice put together book, though. And of course, red books are always very classy to have on your bookshelf. I like that one. That's pretty. It's a pretty one. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Ooh, Applied Physiology Advanced by Frank Overton, MD. Interesting. Some kind of medical book? Do you have... If you don't have illustrations, I'm going to be so sad. Okay, yeah, they have some diagrams and things. So a little line art diagram there. Oh, we got some little germies or some kind of little amoebas there. Ooh, we're getting into medical stuff now. Look at that. Very nice. Digestion of the food in the mouth. Got some teeth. This one's really old, so it's like kind of falling apart on me. It's got a lot of damage in it, but it's still really cool. I like old medical books and things like that. I find them to be kind of creepy and weird, and plus science is fascinating. Like if you ever look through old science textbooks and stuff, like the illustrations are so interesting. Yeah, what year is this from? This is a nice old one. For advanced grades. Oh, this one's Applied Physiology, including the effects of alcohol and narcotics by Frank Overton, AM.MD, late house surgeon to the City Hospital in New York. For advanced grades, this is the American Book Company. It looks like this really cool bones in the hand kind of x-ray plate print and or etching. And what year, can you tell me? 1897 by the American Book Company. That's an old one. What a beautiful. But I love, like, even old textbooks had these beautiful illustrations on the front. You can see there was gold leafing on this at one time. Even, like, the side of the book, while it's a little worn out right now, it still has a lot of the gold leaf is still attached, some ornamentation. That's a really nice piece. Little water damage, as you can see down here. And, of course, rips and tears. It's kind of got a lot going on here. Sections are kind of falling out. There are probably bits missing. What an interesting book, though. Dreams. Influences which affect the mind. That's the chapter I just went through. That's cool. Very nice. Beautiful pieces. Wow. Here's a language lesson. Metcalf and Bright's Language Lessons, Part 2. Look at this. Look at that. All that embossing. And pretty blue color, too. Can't really see. The spine's a little worn out. And then, of course, the back there is real pretty. It's got a little monogram thing, probably a logo from the company. Let's have a look here. What year are you? Language Lessons Part 2 by Robert C. Metcalf? Yeah. Supervisor of Schools, Boston and Massachusetts, and Orville Teal Bright, Superintendent of Schools, Cook County, Illinois. Interesting. Very, very cool. 1896 by the American Book Company. Again, we've got a nice collection of American Book Company literature here. And of course, I don't see... Yeah, this is just a words often misused. The study of poems, proverbs, memory exercises, quotations from Bryant, preparation for composition, words often misused again. Oh goodness, it's like a series of exercises and stuff relating to stories, poems, clauses. So yeah, it's basically your run-of-the-mill grammar book. Grammar and syntax books. That's really cool. Very, very nice. All right, Eight Cousins by Louisa May Alcott. I have not read this one, but this is a nice classic. She's, of course, the author of Little Women. Eight Cousins, or The Aunt Hill by Louisa M. Alcott, the Goldsmith Publishing Company in Chicago. I'm not getting a year on this one. Kind of looks like a 1950s setup, though. I mean, it's a typical, run. Yep, again, just another, inexpensive run. Got a little creased page here, but, margins aren't very big, so they were really trying to save paper. Really pretty red book cover, though. I have not read this one. Better not start reading while I'm here. I don't see any illustrations or anything in it, but it's a nice, really pretty vintage book with a nice red cover, which always looks nice on bookshelves. I like red books. Brightly colored books are one of my favorites. A new geographical reader. All right, a geography book. Ooh, yes, of course. Maps. You guys know I'm a sucker for maps and books, especially novels, but maps in general excite me for some reason. Vessels are drawn through the locks of the Panama Canal, guys. I love that. So this is like a section about the land of the equator. So going through South America, it looks like. So yeah, this is a really nice geography book. Looks like it's got some earth science stuff kind of into it. Yeah, this looks like it focuses primarily on South America. Buenos Aires. It has a lot of cool pictures and photography here. Cool illustrations. Like life snapshots and stuff. You ever look at an old textbook and be like, yeah, I wonder what happened to those people? Like, where are they now? What are they doing? The maps are really nice in here. I like that. Again, though, small textbook. Ooh, beautiful. Corridor of palm trees. Very nice. So yeah, this is a really cool kind of like explorer's book, it looks like. South America. I should have just read the cover so I would actually know what I was going to talk about. Yeah. Carpenter's New Geographical Reader. What year? Did I say what year this was from? Probably not yet. Oh, it's not even telling me what year it's from. I'm not even finding copyright information, so either that page is missing. Yeah, it looks like that page is missing. But yeah, interesting, very nice book. Very lovely. I do kind of love old textbooks, especially like you never know what you're gonna get. Elements of English Grammar, Webster Cooley Language Series by William Frank Webster. Let's see. So this is the Riverside Press, Cambridge, and the Houghton, Mifflin and Company by W.F. Webster, principal of East High School, Minneapolis, Minnesota, assisted by Alice Woodworth Cooley. The Elements of English Grammar. Copyright 1904 by Houghton, Mifflin and Company. Wow, that's awesome. Yep. Typical grammar book. I don't see any illustrations or anything in here. Quick look through. Again, tiny. These are so small compared to most textbooks that I know of today. Why? Why did they do? Was it a paper thing? Are they trying to make books more expensive? I have questions. Super sus. Super suspicious. Wisconsin Authors and Their Works by Charles Ralph Rounds. That's kind of interesting. 1918, the Parker Educational Company of Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin Authors and Their Works, edited by Charles Ralph Rounds, heads of the Department of English, Milwaukee State Normal School, based on Wisconsin in Story and Song, by C.R. Rounds and H.S. Hippensteel, in 1916. Okay. General Charles King, whoever that is. Oh. Some kind of... I also love this about used books. You find little treasures in the pages sometimes. This is from the Corner School Public School Library Regulations, prescribed by the state superintendent. Teacher of the public school shall have charge of the library while the school is in session. Nice. Oh, that's from the Fond du Lac School Supply Company that printed that. Ella Wheeler Wilcox at a harp. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely image. So this looks like it's a series of short stories, poems. Man, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to have to read a lot of these and see if there's anything cool we can review for Telltale, because that would be very nice. So yeah, it kind of has a picture of just about all of the authors and then a little biography. A little biography and then just little essays, all kinds of stuff. Poems. And just little information at the beginning of what each of the work actually is. So that's really nice. I really like the typefaces that they're using in here. Very lovely. Again, an older book, so the pages aren't, they're in pretty good condition, but they don't look like they're acid-free or anything. They're kind of yellowing. Yeah. Interesting. And specific to Wisconsin. It looks like this book has been refurbished in some way. And maybe not well. Or I don't know, maybe that's just the style. Maybe it was a quick slap together print. But as you can see, the detailing on this is not exactly, like some of this is fraying. This doesn't look like it's original, this green bit at all. Looks like this book was originally just black and somebody slapped it over and resold the used book, it looks like. Even on these interior pages, it looks like it's been adapted. So it was refaced at some point. Still a really neat book, though. Didn't really know. Like, who knew? You know, the kind of literature that's out there. Who knew? I sure didn't until I saw it. More English lessons. This looks like this is actually part 2 of that one grammar book we got. This is the second. That was the third. We probably have the first in here and the last 4 or something. Minnesota textbook series. From the D.D. Merrill publisher. Lots of debossing on there. A little bit of, it's seen better days, but it's still pretty cool. You can see the logo on the back. It's kind of embossed there. It's a little hard to see that M, but it's very flourished. Very, very pretty. Oh, looks like. Okay, so it talks about penmanship, manual penmanship. I'm not seeing anything about the copyright information. It looks like this one has also gone through a state of repair at some point. Of course, advertisements in the front and back. Also doodles from past users. This was probably used in Oscar W. Burgesson signed the back of this. And someone named Stuart R. So it looks like it's been through a lot of kids who just kind of scribbled all over it. It seems like pretty like middle school, elementary level stuff. Just giving you information on how to do different syntaxes, different stuff about, you know, learning your articles and how to do, ooh, they have a speech section, pronunciation, parts of speech. Very cool. I love looking at old textbooks. I don't know why. Like, it just seems like you can learn so much. Another Metcalf, American Literature book. Is this the same year? KJD is the initials written in big letters right there. And of course some crayon. Looks like somebody added their own page and then doodled all over it. That's another reason I love. Oh, that was Edgar Allan Poe on the front. That's a picture of Poe, by the way. Look at that. What interesting printing, too. It's like a gold color. That's really pretty. Probably a bronze statue that they're trying to mimic. John Calvin Metcalf, professor of English literature in the University of Virginia, author of English literature from the Johnson Publishing Company, Richmond, Virginia, 1914. B.F. Johnson Publishing Company. And this person was definitely very into certain someone, because there's like little hearts and stuff. So probably a young woman was looking at this. Oh goodness, yes. I love doodles. Doodles in textbooks is a thing. Especially, you could tell it was a young person. Yep, so colonial literature, going through the colonial period, revolutionary period, all kinds of author images and such, significant figures, little bios, then some of their work. And then, of course, someone else's work as they scribbled all over this. They probably hated that poem, so they're like, I'm just going to fart around and screw this one up. William Cullen Bryant. There he is. And gives biographies, lists of literature. Ooh, somebody decided to color this one, too. Custom remix. And they decided they needed to color Emerson's home in Concord, Massachusetts. I love when kids do that, though. Like, okay, maybe you ruined the book, but it was probably a really boring book for some kid anyway, so they were just like, I don't want to give a shit about this. Just speaks so much to, like, the life. Like, this book is showing the life of someone else. Not just the people it's talking about, but a farmer owner. And that's what I really love about getting used books with notes in the margins and things like that. I like finding things that I can relate to personally, because this book is showing me a living person's life. And clearly they really wanted a lot of these illustrations to be in color, or to have illustrations of their own. You know, like, oh yeah, I could see some kid being like, yeah, this page needs an illustration. We're gonna just do a little orange there. This one's got a little purple. Someone really wanted a little purple illustration on this page. And it just tells me so many more stories than just what the contents of the book is. It tells me the stories of, and apparently this guy needed to be yellow. Booth Tarkington needed to be yellow for a minute. Clearly with a highlighter. So yeah. Oh, Jack London. This is in the Writers of Western States. Yeah, this is a cool piece. Not just as a textbook, but just kind of showing you that there was a life. This existed on the shelf of a person who had a child, and that child decided that they were going to do whatever they wanted with this book. Maybe the person cared, maybe they didn't. And I think that's just a really sweet testament to the kind of history that books hold. I also am one of those people who's a little metaphysical, and I feel like everything has a little bit of energy. And I just love seeing the expression that children have of energy about a thing. Like, they just leave their own little graffiti on stuff. And I just think that's wonderful. But yeah. Oh, the contract price is $1.20, guys, and the exchange price is $1.08. They used to put that on the back of these books. It literally says so on this little placard here that they embossed into it. So nobody could jip you on what you should be selling this as after it's, you know, a used book. So it gives you the suggested retail and resale on the back. That's interesting. I've never actually seen that before. That's cool to know. Wouldn't that be nice if they did that with textbooks today instead of charging millions of dollars, like freaking hundreds and thousands of dollars on books that, you know, whatever. Here's a history of the United States, Hawthorne Volume 1. Actually, this is it looks like a part 3-parter. Words are hard today. I'm sorry, I'm struggling, guys. Yeah, this is a 3-parter. Looks like a history of the United States. Textbooks, again. Let's look at the year. 1898. Very cool. So somebody really held on to a lot of their old textbooks. And of course, illustrations. This is a Puritan's home. Returning from the hunt. Who illustrated this? Does it tell us? Who are you, illustrator? Hawthorne's History of the United States from the landing of Columbus to the signing of the peace protocol with Spain by Julian Hawthorne in 3 volumes, profusely illustrated. Doesn't say by who. Is profusely perhaps a company? I don't know. New York, Peter Phelan Collier is the company publisher or owner. Ooh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that drop cap. Look at how beautiful. Oh, stunning. There's a list of illustrations in the beginning, of course, like they used to do. Margins of this are really nice. It's blocked out pretty cool too. I'm almost interested to read this to see what kind of things they write in and out of history. I know that's a big controversial thing right now. But to be able to read an old history book and how they portrayed it and compare and contrast from what I was taught and how they're teaching now would be really, really interesting. If anybody has time to do that, feel free, because I probably won't. But I can aspire, right? And so this is a 3-volume set that's really nice. Nice blue covers. So yeah, majority of this box was old textbooks, dating into the early 20th century and a little before. That's really cool. like I'm very intrigued by that. I actually have an entire shelf of old textbooks of like plant anatomy and a medical book and stuff. Just things that have been given to me or I found randomly, in trash bins and stuff. I will admit I dumpster dive. No shame. But yeah, so predominantly school books it looks like. I think that's kind of cool. Um who knows what age group because it looks like it's everything from elementary to college grade stuff. So interested to kind of it'd be interesting to know who these passed on from and how. Um, I know I know my friend who gave it to me, but I don't know. I guess she received them from her mother. So maybe they were her mother's. Maybe they were her father's. Maybe they were great aunts and uncles who just kind of handed books off to each other or whatever. Things that have been collected over time. So books tell you so much more than just what their contents are sometimes. Sometimes they tell you about the life and studies of past owners and things like that just through doodles, just through subject matter, just through like the different pieces of, ephemera you find inside. Like looks like some of these are ads and coupons and old newspaper things and like really cute old newspaper clipping stuff. And December 1967 apparently was important somehow. Oh, this is probably why. Like that was valuable information to this person at some point. And then of course there's these doodles, like who knows what these are. And then there's like some figures, some numerical figures and decimals, maybe price lists. I don't know. But you kind of get a really interesting look at people's lives sometimes, and I just think that's really sweet and fun and very cool. Like here's a piece of ephemera that fell out of one of the books that's like the major lakes of the world. Like this person pursued knowledge through anything they could find. Like this is all from like a planner of some kind. This is miscellaneous world facts and comparisons. And here's a conversion list. Like these were all practical things that this person wanted to hang on to and know. And I just think that's really cool. Like we get an insight into what this person valued. And I think that's a really, really cool thing about getting books from friends or having them donated or, receiving anything from those things. I just think that's really sweet that you can do that. So thank you again, my dear friend who gave these to me. If there's any of these books that you're interested in having back, I don't know how much you pursued them. You know who I am. You know how to get a hold of me. Let me know. But yeah, this is a really cool collection. I do like finding old textbooks a lot because you can learn so much about the past from the way the past was taught. So thanks guys for joining me. This is kind of a fun bit, a little bit outside the norm of what we usually get when we get book hauls, but I am very intrigued. I'm gonna peruse some of these. And I'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Bye.